Island Punch. You should try some. It's really good.
Okay, welcome back to Bossy Behavior, instilling behaviors to help you become the boss. All right, so let's get into it. Today, I wanted to talk about something that we all struggle with from time to time. It's just like, oh, near and dear to my heart. Okay, it's rejection.
Okay, we're just gonna come for it. Rejection.
All right, rejection, I will say, is like the nemesis to the creative or the pioneer, because it is the nagging reminder that there are people that will refuse your idea, that will hate what you're proposing, and that will ultimately throw it away like it's trash, even if you've worked on it for many, many, many years. I know, right? It's painful. It hurts. But if you allow rejection to set into your heart space and to seed around in your soul, then you won't be able to create from a pure space, and you won't be able to present to the world something that could be very meaningful and useful, right? So here's the deal. Let's talk about it. All of us have shown rejection because when you are creating and you are pioneering something, or you are building something that has never been built before, there will be people to criticize. There will be people that don't believe it. And guess what? It'll probably be the people closest to you. It'll be your pastor, your parent, your best friend. It could be your cousin, your sister, your brother. It could be, the person that went to business school with you and you guys had the best ideas, and then all of a sudden they turn around and like, I hate what you're serving up. Listen, there's many examples. If I didn't say your example, just insert it there. There are many ways. Also, previous failure. I like to failure because it's not really a failure if you learn something. But previous heartbreaks in creating can create this space where you feel rejected, dejected, and no longer accepted. Here's the deal. If you don't clear this space, you will be presenting things out of people-pleasing. You will be presenting things that don't have the full capacity of what you were creating it for. And ultimately, you may not be seeing success because you are not being authentic anymore, right? I talk about authenticity a lot on this channel, and I think that it's so important for you to realize that when you are operating from a place of rejection, that you are sacrificing identity, okay? So what does that look like? It looks like you alter words or content or ideas to shape towards what people will like versus what they may need, okay? So for instance, with a video like this, I could say a lot of fluffy things and I could tell you they suck for criticizing you, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to get back up from rejection, heal through that process, and present a pure stream of creativity, right? Or whatever you're producing that doesn't reflect what could have made you bitter, okay? Rejection has the way of speaking out loudly from us, whether we want to say it or not, right? It just kind of flows from your lips. You can just kind of tell when someone's been tainted by this dejection that has happened constantly in their life. Also looks like you just don't produce anything at all. It looks like you work on projects and they never come out. It looks like you say you're going to create posts, but they never happen. It looks like you do a couple episodes of something, maybe a podcast, and then you stop. It looks like a lot of things because you're ultimately looking for approval and acceptance from people versus what the intention of the project you're working on is supposed to be, right? And this, my friends, comes with building. This, my folks, comes from trial and error. There are just some things and some ideas that don't process all the way through because we don't give them the proper amount of time. On a very practical side, right? Outside of your emotions and behaviors. On a very practical side, you need to give your business maybe 90 days. Like, you need to give this idea 90 days of working it, of consistency, and then going back and looking and see what worked and what didn't. What posts people really liked, which ones they didn't. How people interacted with the app, which ways they didn't. And then you can scale it. Then you can start to refresh, change, move, operate. Or maybe you've had a successful place, but now it's plateaued. So you need to innovate at another level. You need to introduce new ways to interact in society. Or maybe your whole thing was not even digital at this point, and now you have to pivot and get online in the world that we're living right now. Rejection will have you rejecting new ideas, new prospects, new pivots in your business based on the fact that you're not sure if people will accept it. So operating from a place of wanting approval can actually stop your productivity, and it definitely will come against the purity on which you create things. So Lizzie,
Don't just tell me I'm rejected. What do I need to do?
All right, I got you, okay?
one of the things you need to do is to recognize I am rejected. I am dealing with feelings of rejection. Rejection is sitting in my soul. So for, easy tips of what to do, I like to write things down. It helps me process it. Then I read it back to myself aloud sometimes. But it also gives me ways and motives of pushing things out that I did not know were even there, right? So that's a good place to start, recognizing the problem. Secondly, if you're a believer and you watch me, if you're not, I always say, you know what? You don't know Christ yet. It's totally cool. We just hang out here. I just share what works for me. So for me, I take time and I actually ask God to remove the rejection that is set into my heart and show me ways in which I am not operating authentically. Simple conversation. That helps a lot. And then the third thing, which is very, very easy and very practical, is to really self-evaluate and evaluate for your business or your content or whatever you're creating, and really look at it and with a fresh set of eyes and say, hey, did I do this for another in a toxic way? Is there some way that I'm not helping my platform? Is there some way that I need to change? And as those things start to come up, write them down and then look for the solution to not therefore act that way, right? Sometimes we talk so much about the spiritual, but practically there's changes that need to happen, right? You don't need to go and delete all of your content. You don't need to remove everything. You just need to start adding authenticity back into it, right? Also, if you're performing for a platform where you think people expect you to just be one way and you're stuck in that box, you don't have to be stuck in that box. Authenticity is always going to win. But I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys about why you do what you do, and if you're doing it from a rejected space, that you may not be finding success there because it's not exactly what you should have been doing. But it's okay to realize it and then press forward from there, okay? Like, I've had many moments where I was doing a trending topic versus a topic I should have been talking about because I just thought people wouldn't accept it, or it wasn't going to gain me likes or followers. But at the end of the day, this is all to help others, right? So engagement is more so what I look for on this platform. Am I serving you? Am I giving you the topics to help you become that boss? That is kind of what I am all about. And I'm even adjusting during this time. I think you guys have seen me talk more about my faith here than I ever have before, right? Because that's what is required in this season in building bossy behavior. But I want you to be encouraged, okay? I want you to know that there will
Always be a critic, but just like Superman needed Lex Luthor and Batman needed the Joker, your nemesis, rejection, will never be able to overtake you as long as you press through and do what you are called to do.
There are so many people that can be carbon copies. Hey, I don't know about you, but I see a lot of people that look the same online. But hey, we've been waiting for your face, your voice. So if you're annoyed by your own voice, your own face, all these things, break out of that. Try something new. Don't worry if people don't show up for it now. You may just be in your practicing season. And there's like this fortitude you get when you get rejected over and over. I mean, I've been online for 14 years. I have been talked about from every angle of this face, my teeth, my eyes, my body size, everything. And it's built this fortitude in me to know that regardless, I can still be myself and it's okay. Sure, do those things try to take chips and wounds out into you, but you don't have to let them. But sometimes you need to practice so you get comfortable with being you. All right, well, I hope this helped. And if you have any questions or you need anything, let me know. I'm your girl. Until next time, toodles.